Hey, everybody.
I'm the writer.
And I'm the musician. And today we're going to talk about nothing.
Oh, that's it? Are we done?
We might talk about something. We might even talk about everything. But listening to it, it might seem like nothing. Heard it said that the nothing in your art defines something. It's the negative space that is important.
I have the first podcast giggles happening.
That's something.
But we have our coffee and we have our cheers.
Oh, we do have coffee.
That right there is everything.
Cheers, everyone.
That's how we start. That's how we start and roll with the day and everything and nothing. Cheers to everything and nothing.
When you have nothing, that's a very empty space. And when you put something in that empty space, that something becomes everything. That's the simplicity of life, is if you have everything all at once, like say you put everything in the whole world into a picture, that picture would be far too crowded. You wouldn't be able to focus on anything, and you need to be able to focus on something. So you take a lot of things out, and now you just have something in the middle of a field of nothing. Nothing can be something in and of itself. Like in the Beatles, Yellow Submarine, they find the Sea of Holes. And Ringo is actually able to pick up a hole and put it in his pocket. And he says, "Now I have a hole in me pocket." Have you seen Yellow Submarine?
I've actually never seen that.
Oh, no.
We got to put that on our list of things to
It's
watch.
not even the Beatles. Those were some other voices.
Oh, is it an animation?
It's an animation, and it's not even the Beatles' real voices. It's just their music and some fun fantasy.
What you said, like that example, that opens so many doors. That's the thing, is nothing actually opens so many doors to new things.
It's a good place to start, like meditation, trying to get your mind to focus on nothing.
It's almost like the power or the energy becomes stronger in that space.
Oh, yes.
Which can make your art more stronger.
In the blank, uncluttered mind, when you suddenly have a thought, you can really focus on that thought because it's the only one, versus like a chattering mind, the monkey mind, overthinking, overanalyzing, too many thoughts, too much conversation, a din. Then suddenly you can focus.
Is that why when, say, for example, I go to the art room and I'm just sitting there, I haven't even yet started on my writing, but I'm just sitting there and I'm actually doing nothing at all. But then I start to feel really big and spacious inside of myself, and like something about what's happening grows.
Yes.
And so that nothing, there's really something to that nothing.
But you said you weren't doing anything.
And I wasn't.
And you were doing something. You were sitting.
Yeah.
So sitting was the thing you were doing, not doing nothing. And if you lay down, laying is the thing you're doing.
Like Winnie the Pooh. He was like up in the tree. He saw doing nothing is doing something.
Yes. Until you're in sensory deprivation. In a sensory deprivation tank, you are floating, which I guess is still something, but it tricks your brain into feeling like you're in zero gravity. You're in space. You're just floating. You're just not connected to the ground. You're just there without any input from your eyes. You're in darkness. There's no smells. There's no
I wonder how
feeling.
long I would last there, or you would last there.
You start to hallucinate. Your brain starts to play tricks on you.
Such a trickster.
Like altered states. In altered states, he would go into the sensory deprivation tanks and then flip out.
I like altered states. I think Spinky is in an altered state. She's on my lap and she's purring. Everybody, our cat's name is Spinky.
I guarantee, try as you might, nobody will ever spell it correctly. The other cat's name is Oreo, a black and white kitty.
Yes, and Spinky, I actually have to make her a dictionary because she knows so many words that I'm going to make her a dictionary. She knows the word snuggle, everybody. Okay, so when you yell in the house, you're in bed, all of a sudden you yell, snuggle. And then she'll actually come sometimes, not all, not every single time, but she'll come at times. So yeah, she knows other words like bird. She knows flowers because she likes to smell flowers. She knows cute. She knows the word avocado.
My joke is that she doesn't know any of the words. She just knows the tone of the voice and responds to it. So snuggle means avocado. Avocado means bird. Bird means flower. And all of them are the same word. But maybe.
But right now, she's doing nothing.
She perked up.
Oh.
She's like, nothing. Are you kidding? This is everything.
I tell you, we have to do nothing more often.
Oh, what would you do if you had $1 million? And in Office Space, he jokes, nothing.
You know, yesterday, like I never buy lottery tickets, but my sister and my nephew, when we go on walks, you know, we talk a lot about all the things. And the last walk that we took, we talked about if we won the lottery, what kind of things would you buy? So we ended up talking about all these things we would buy. And I bought a lottery ticket yesterday. This is something that never happens. Like I never do that. But I ended up winning $4. Oh, and I told them, I said, I'm going to share with you whatever I win. I'm sharing it.
Where is it?
The next walk that we go on with Sis and my nephew Beckett, I'm going to bring them each $1.
Where's that $4?
Yeah.
I want to make it rain.
We
You're
just
rich.
won last night. But you got to start somewhere. And so I'm like, hell yeah, I won $4. Next time it could be 10,000. Let's check it out.
And then we could buy 10,000 lottery tickets.
No, I'm just going to get my sis a hot tub in her backyard. And Becky, he wants some like thing for his game that he's creating. He's like a little genius. He, you know, creates all the characters in a game and draws them and everything like that. So he wants some imaginary thing going on. So I'm like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to get that for you, but I'll try.
Oh, wow. To be spending money on the intangible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we could get him some Bitcoin.
That's a good idea.
Fake money for his fake world.
Oh.
Or virtual. I shouldn't say fake.
Yeah.
That's condescending or...
To him, it's so real. That's another
big time
way to expand this conversation because the imagination, people say, oh, it's not real. You know, it's fantasy. But the imagination is so real.
Oh, yeah. For some people, too real. The imaginary is more real than the actual world. And they have a hard time living in the real world because their imagination is so rich.
And it's so much better than the real living.
That's
sometimes
too judgmental. But
well,
better.
I think if you're an artist, you know, there's
Might be
something to it. There's a lot of joy there. There's a lot of freedom because, you know, you're not controlled or in constraints or in these shackles that sometimes you feel in the world. And then you go to your imagination and it's so free.
Well, there again, there's that rub, the money. If you had $1 million, what would you do? And the answer for so many people is whatever I want. Hunter Thompson had a group of buddies, and they used to prove that if you had enough money, you could do anything. They would wander into some building and break something or steal something or do what's unthinkable, then just hand somebody like $10,000 and say, are we cool?
Like Oprah.
And
Oprah
most people would
just
say,
kinda does anything.
oh,
She's so wonderful.
$10,000, we're cool.
Yeah.
As if money cures everything. So there's a freedom in society,
Oh,
the more
right.
money you have.
Right.
But once you don't have enough money to cover your actions, then there are limitations. There's things you can't do. And there's that pesky morality thing, like trying to be moral, trying to be good to others. There's a,
Why do you say pesky?
oh, it's a joke. It's it's a joke about, you're saying, what can you do? You can do anything. Well, you definitely would want to not hurt others or do some really horrible things.
Yeah.
There's morality that gets in the way of.
Yeah,
not,
you
not
want
in
to
the
like
way.
push the edge because the pushing the edge is fun. But, when you start to like hurt others or betray others, then it's not fun anymore.
No. I mean, you joke, not for them, but once you have a really loving heart, anything you did to someone else, you'd be doing to yourself, and you would feel it. You'd be all connected.
Yeah, like Spingley does that.
I think there is. So that's where the joke of pesky morality, like there is the truth to that is then morality is a filter trying to connect you more to life, nature, the world, and humanity by saying that treat others as you would treat yourself so that we can feel that connection. There can be peace.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. As Jimi Hendrix said,
I'm gulping to that one.
I'm pouring the coffee on my face and letting it just drip down my body.
Dripping down.
Everybody
my
check
chin,
out all my drip.
My nipples. My kneecaps.
There we go. Oh,
my
wow.
toes.
We just got a lot more listeners the moment you said nipples. I saw a spike in our listenership. Wow.
Spingley's all, I'm out of here. You're dripping coffee on me.
So, anyway, Jimi Hendrix had said, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, there will be peace.
Oh, yes. And that's what makes me go like, what the heck? Terry on America's Got Talent was like, power is my word.
Right?
I was like, what? Because I really like Terry. Terry's cool. I like his clothes. I like his shoes, his everything, his jumping like pecs or whatever.
There's a power in his nipples.
There's a power. And it simultaneously creeps me out and fascinates me at the same time. I'm like, how do you do that?
He's got talented nipples.
Dancing nipples too. Salsa dancing nipples.
And that's his power.
It's so powerful.
We can actually get back to talking about nothing. Because for a while now, we've been talking about something. We haven't talked about everything yet.
Yeah, that's for later in the podcast.
Eventually, if you put all our podcasts together, we would have talked about everything.
Oh, yeah.
Until then, we'll just keep
We have plans.
finding something to talk about. And hopefully at some point, we don't find ourselves with nothing to talk about at all.
We'll be like the characters on the anime. The enlightened characters that are just...
And that's the reaction to everything.
Oh! I love Hunter x Hunter.
There is that theory that the nothingness is what connects us, or the darkness is what connects us. Like, everyone would say that they're looking for the light, and we'd all find this glowing light that would connect us all in peace. But truly, there's another connection that when you're asleep, there's an unconsciousness, and we're all connected by that. We look for things that connect people, And that's one thing that does connect us. Everybody, when they go to sleep, goes to unconscious, a darkness where they're unaware of, besides like say dreams or something like that. But there's definitely a place where you're not seeing any light and you're not hearing any sounds and you're just in your sleep in darkness.
So restful, so peaceful. How did it ever come about that darkness is scary? It's so peaceful.
Well, it's not inherently scary. We give it meaning. Some people are very afraid of the dark and some people are very comfortable. Like if I'm wandering around at night, I'm more comfortable without, say, a flashlight or a headlamp. I just like my eyes adjusting to the dark and walking by moonlight. But I used to be afraid of the dark.
Did you?
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
I think it kind of happened to me once. My brother scared me really bad. He was hiding under the bed.
What did he do?
I kept calling for him because I thought he was there in the room somewhere. And he wouldn't make any noise for a long time. And then when I got up to go to turn the light on, he grabbed me quick and said, "Ah!"
Did he grab like your ankles?
I don't remember.
He
Probably.
just grabbed you, yeah.
I just remember, just suddenly being like terrified, screaming, crying.
Oh, that's so wild.
And then I needed a nightlight for a long time. Needed to light.
I do like a weird thing when I'm really scared. If someone scares me like that, I do some weird little twitch thing where like I don't scream. I'm actually incredibly quiet and still, but then I do this involuntary like in my whole body.
Well, that's how you survive a bear attack. Just very still, play dead.
So I'm like a possum.
Smart move.
To do nothing. Smart.
Maybe. What if the scream of terror is what freaks the monster into attacking you?
Into more like violent frenzy.
Your violent scream is like what provokes the monster. If you had just been more calm.
Kill me because I'm screaming so loud and annoyingly. They're like, get rid of the sound as fast as possible.
Comfortable silence or uncomfortable silence?
So comfortable.
Not for the listener.
Oh.
They'd be on the edge of their seat. What on earth are they going to talk about next? Nothing. Something.
Yeah, what about nothing are they going to talk about next?
Nothing. There's nothing to say. Words can't describe the nothing. Only silence could describe the nothing.
To me personally, I feel a really strong creative impulse within the nothing. Almost similar, actually, that I would think as like the Big Bang, for example, when that happened. That creative impulse that just vibrated like wild.
Oh, like it had to happen.
Yes.
There was nothing there. Mm-hmm. And creation had to happen in that space.
Yes.
Interesting. But theoretically, everything was there. No matter can be created nor destroyed. Like the singularity, everything was there, and it burst and spread out to become the universe in that field of nothingness.
Into gorgeousness.
I had heard an interesting theory that that's the one thing that in the singularity was unknown, was loneliness. There's no loneliness when everything is connected and everything is there. So the universe had to become separate pieces and spread out. And as it's theoretically growing, there's supposed to be a movement in the universe that is growing and spreading and, birth of more stars. And as everything expands, the universe is learning more and more about loneliness that it never knew in the singularity, about a separateness.
There must be some purpose to that, of what you say about connection being alongside aloneness. For me, when I know my aloneness, I feel more connected in life because I've been there. And I'm not sure if it has something to do maybe with the yin and the yang. Like once you know your darkness, then you know your light.
And vice versa. That even the more you know about connection, the more you feel loneliness. And the more you know about loneliness, the more you feel connection when it's there.
And why does it bounce back and forth? Sometimes there's
Only
this movement.
because they can't happen simultaneously. Or can you? I've been inside of a huge gathering and felt completely alone. And maybe we feel a bounce back and forth when they're both happening at the same time.
I wonder if, for me, the center, it does have that quality of connection and aloneness actually swirling, kind of like it's a nebula or something. Like it's got this.
Which would say we choose. Our choice to be lonely or our choice to feel connection.
Ooh, that's powerful. That's like Terry's nipples.
I think every time you say nipples, we get like 10 more listeners, maybe 100 more listeners.
We won the listener lottery. We have 5 million more listeners.
Nipples.
Nipples.
Is that a scientific term?
Dripping from my nipples. What?
Is that the scientific term?
What?
Nipple? Or is that just slang?
For what?
For a nipple.
Oh.
That part of your body, does it have a name? Like the weenus is the scientific term for the end of your elbow.
Yes. We have to be able to identify the nipples. It's very important.
Well, no, I just want to make sure. If it's scientific, we could say the word. If it's slang, we might actually be cursing in our first podcast over and over and over again.
Well,
pandering just for listeners.
The long name for nipples is Nippleonius.
Call in if you have the answer and tell us. The phone number is
1-800-NIPPLES.
I wish I actually knew the number to provide. I would give this fake number, and when people call it, it would say, "I am Groot." And it's for girls when they want to give a phone number to someone that's not their number, but it seems like they're giving someone a number. There's a rejection hotline, and it says, when you call, thank you for calling. The person that you've asked for their phone number did not want to give you the phone number, but they really wanted to be nice to you, nice enough to give you this. This is not their number. No, then the other one you call, all it says is, "I am Groot. I am Groot."
Oh, that person would be like, "Oh, I hope I get to go on a date."
Yeah, I'm going to call him. I'm going to call him. And then they call, and it's, "I am Groot." And you want to feel sad, but then you might laugh.
You might laugh, and you might be like,
You might giggle and think, "Oh, now I even want to date them more because they're hilarious."
Oh.
I hope I run into that person again.
Or you just say, "No, I don't want to give my number to you." But
Well, which is better, to say nothing or to say something,
in that case,
or to give them everything?
give them the phone number to Groot. I am Groot.
You want to let people down gently. Or it's just such a quick way out. Like, "Hey girl, give me them digits." And hopefully you've memorized that Groot number. I've got to memorize it. That's squad goals.
Is that what you said when you met me? "Hey girl, give me those digits."
You didn't call?
Actually, I said something to him. I said, "You have beautiful eyes." And then he perked up, like
Who wouldn't?
like a cat with the ears, and turned his head like, "What?"
The eyes being the window to the soul.
And actually, that's the thing, is because he turned his head. So I actually said it to him when he wasn't looking at me, because I was watching him talking to someone at the party, and I was staring at him, just staring, and in this euphoric space in myself while watching him talk to this person. and just,
And I turned my head and I coughed.
and then he sneezed all over me.
Best day of my life.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a really wonderful night. Then we went out dancing. Although I danced, he didn't dance at all. It was with a group of people.
As a musician, you would think I'd be more into dancing, but somehow I'm listening so intently to the music
Yeah, you were dancing on the inside.
that my body doesn't. I don't think about like dancing. I'm thinking about the complexity of the music, or thinking about the beats and the melodies and harmonies, and that's all going through me. I experience music in a different way. But I know how important dance is. Like, the more people dancing, it amplifies the music. Dancing is actually so connected to the music that the more people you have in a crowd dancing to the music, it actually raises the vibration,
Yeah.
brings everyone to a higher level. I get it.
That
Power of dance.
movement.
Like even hip hop, true hip hop. You can't have true hip hop without dancing, without break dancers.
Oh,
You need the MC, the DJ, the break dancer, and the graffiti artist. You need all four elements to have true hip hop.
I love the crumping. The crumping that deep. Just so deep, like you just want to.
I like the power of the crimp.
Yeah, and that too.
For any Mighty Boosh fans out there that have gone beyond Old Greg and seen more episodes than simply Old Greg.
Old Greg.
50 Shades of Greg.
Do you want some Baileys in a shoe?
I saw George Clinton pouring Baileys into a shoe.
Did you really?
He's
What
a
year
fan of
was
the
that?
Boosh.
Actually, it's probably the other way around.
But of course,
the Boosh is a fan of George Clinton.
Of course they are. But of course, because Bootsy Collins is mentioned in the episode,
Yeah.
they would,
Yeah.
somebody would get to George Clinton and be like, oh my God, have you heard what the Boosh said about the funk? Taken out of context, that just sounds like nonsense. Have you heard what the Boosh said about the funk?
That sounds so funky.
It just sounds silly, like completely made up words.
Yeah.
Nonsense. Overheard at a party. While drinking Baileys from a shoe.
Cheers.
Cheers. This maybe even could be a good place to wish our listeners well and our first
Yes.
podcast.
Oh, yes. We wish you well. We wish you coffee today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day until we meet again.
Cheers.
Love you.